Firstly, let me be absolutely clear here. The work capacity assessments that Atos are carrying out on behalf of the Tory-led government are inhumane, conducted largely by unqualified staff at unsuitable assessment centres. In fact, in 2012, 31 of the 123 centres used by Atos to conduct disability assessments lacked basic ground floor access for wheelchair users, with many lacking disabled parking. Whilst the situation has got better since then, in many places nothing much has changed. Now let's be fair to Atos, it's not like it's common sense that you might need wheelchair access whilst doing disability assessments, is it? And that's all without going into the 10,600 people that died within 6 weeks of being declared fit for work. Since then, the government has simply stopped counting, but the figures have been estimated to be not so far below the rate at which Hitler himself was murdering the disabled. The propaganda coming from the Tory camp, of course, is that this is a part of much needed cuts designed to lower the welfare bill, along with the bedroom tax amongst others, that are also hitting disabled people along with other vulnerable people and families the hardest. Add to that the rest of the cuts that are still to come, along with major cuts to frontline services that so many people rely upon, and what you end up with is a pretty dire situation, one that this nation should never find itself in. Overall, it amounts to nothing less than the ideological oppression of the poor and vulnerable by rich political elitists who lack empathy and a basic understanding of the issues that normal people face. Of course, at the exact same time as the brunt of this, government cuts start to hit home, and billions of pounds of tax revenue is wasted. 2.8 billion that we lost on the sale of the hugely undervalued Royal Mail, 66 billion that we lose it to tax evasion each year to the rich, big businesses and corporations. £66 billion is about 50% of the NHS running costs annually. Common sense tells me that if you focus on recouping that lost tax and pump it back into the NHS, it will allow disabled people to be being put through the stress of work capability assessments, to have it done at their local GP surgeries by GPs who know them and their history, instead of by a French IT company who simply see people as profit. So how do we the people deal with this? I think it's quite simple. We stand together. Atos, Ian Duncan-Smith and George Osborne and others need to know that we the people of this once great nation will hold them to account for their actions through street movements and petitions, whilst people like Owen Jones are holding them to account in the media. Those affected by both the work capability assessments, the bedroom tax and everything else need to exhaust their appeal rights. After all, 36% of work capability assessment decisions were overturned since January 2010, and those not overturned will simply build up a backlog and add to the pressure on Atos. To bring this to an end, let me just say this. Our politicians are misusing their power, and we the people need to do everything within our power to make this change. The reality is, if you're not part of the solution, then you are very much part of the problem. That throughout history, people have always made things change, be it black rights, women's rights or workers' rights. The fact is, we need to stand together as the people of this nation. I just want to run over a few Leicester-based issues here. Though the issues above are Tory national issues, the Atos work capability assessments were implemented by Labour. Up until this point, they are pushed upon us in Leicester by a Labour-run council, our Labour MPs and our Labour Mayor, all of whom, when push comes to shove, are no better than the Tory ministers at the top. And one date that you should probably take note of if you're in Leicester, Thursday the 6th of March at 7:30 there is a public meeting to organise the fight back. It will be held at Leicester Unitarian Chapel, 45 East Bond Street, LE1 4SX. If you want to come along, either just turn up or give me a shout or add Leicestershire Disability Action on Facebook.